Oh, it is a gorgeous afternoon here in Baja. That's our new neighbors up the hill. Like, I feel like we're in Hollywood. Um, we're over in the Casa Mariposa. That's Teddy's house right there. That's Tony's house and his family's house right there. And we're going to talk to Teddy, our mindfulness guru, teacher, whatever what do we call you?
Mindfulness teacher.
Teacher, okay.
Yeah.
You're sort of a guru too.
Yeah.
This is actually our yoga studio, and people stay here as well. So Teddy, you have your guest blog post today,
Okay.
and give us 4 or 5 practical tips for being more mindful.
Mindfulness throughout the day. So some very approachable practical tips, ones that I use daily is as I go through my day, I quite often will remind myself of the body that I'm in. Super simple, just recognizing this container that I'm in, just being aware of it. The second thing that I'll think about is my breath. How am I breathing? Am I breathing a nice rhythmic cadence, or am I tightening up with my breath? And usually that's a nice barometer to let me know how I'm dealing with the stress throughout the day and stuff. And that right there opens up a choice for me to kind of relax my breathing and drop it into something natural.
What do you think about that 4-6-8 rhythm when, like, breathe in breathe out? How does it go? 4-6. Do you know what that one is?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Okay. We're not going to go to that one.
But mine, I think about the tummy. So if I find myself kind of, if I observe my breath kind of being tight and shallow, I'll do some tummy belly breath. So I'll kind of soften my belly and kind of
Doesn't
relax.
that make you look fat?
Yeah, but it's okay. I know
Okay.
we're all a little vain, but it's okay. I'd rather be walking into my day a little more natural with a little bit more peace, but maybe a little more heavier.
Yes.
That's okay.
Beautiful.
Next, I really try to be aware of my speech, like right speech. I try to use words that contribute in a positive way. I'm usually pretty aware of the way I use words and stuff throughout the day. Next, very practical, I try not to future think too much, or I try not to think about the past too much. I try to stick with the task at hand, what's in front of me, especially right now when it's so easy for us to fly off into future thinking with all this heightened sense of uncertainty that's going on right now.
Isn't it interesting, Teddy, that when we're little kids, we're in the moment?
Yeah,
And when we actually are later in life, it's been proven that we're in the moment.
sure.
And frankly, that state of being in the moment seems to actually make little kids and sometimes older people feel better, more centered, and yet in the middle of our lives, we're in the middle of being anything but in the moment.
Sure. And we all know the way we feel when we're around somebody who's kind of grounded in the moment. We feel that energy and we receive it really quickly. And I always admire that when I find somebody like that, especially times right now, when we can kind of just really be way too far out in front of ourselves.
She? Yes.
That's Milagro. That's Milagro.
She's
Yeah.
trying to get my attention here.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think, let's see, one more. The lost art of doing one thing at a time. I try not to multitask too much. I know we need to multitask at certain times, but I really do my best to do one thing at a time throughout my day.
Well, thank you for doing this one thing at a time, which is a
Yeah.
video interview for the Wisdom Well. And in just a moment, Oren and I are going to do a yoga
Yes.
session with you. Half of it, sort of a flow yoga, and then half restorative yoga. Explain restorative yoga for just a moment, because you are such a specialist and remarkable in how you open people up to realize that yoga is actually something they can do.
Yes. So, restorative class usually is done always most likely on the ground. And it's a wonderful way for us to just kind of bring that awareness back into the body itself and engage in a practice that really allows our nervous system, really, I think more than anything, our nervous system to kind of settle, which is something we really need these days. I mean, I don't think we all really understand how kind of buzzy we are, you know. So restorative yoga is so good for the nervous system, and just to be in the body. It's anybody can do it at any age. A lot of people with injuries can do it. Very, very self-care type of yoga, very nurturing
Beautiful.
practice.
I'm looking forward to it in a few minutes.
All right.
Thank you, Teddy.
Thank you so much. All right. See you guys.